Welcome back friends, welcome to another video tutorial from Shomu's Biology. And in this video lecture we want to talk about the coronavirus testing. How exactly the coronavirus is tested and how we are going to check whether you get a coronavirus infection, that is SARS-CoV-2 infection or not. If you want to know about the techniques, we are going to talk about two different approaches to test for the coronavirus positive cases. One with the RT-PCR technique, which is the reverse transcriptase PCR technique, as well as the real-time PCR, you can call it. Apart from that, we'll also talk about the blood test, the 10 to 15 minutes rapid blood test kits that are available now. So we're going to talk about the mechanism of both this testing of the kits and how you're going to get the result with the help of these kits. Okay, so the very first things first is how exactly we're going to test whether a person is positive or negative for a coronavirus. The easiest thing is to find out the presence of the virus in the body, right? If you find the presence of the virus in the body, you get it. Now, how exactly we make sure whether the virus is present in a person's body or not? You need to find the virus. But the difficult job is that virus is not visible with our eye. We cannot see that. We cannot even see that with light microscope. It's difficult. So what we need to do is that generally this virus infects our upper nasal cavity. So what we need to take a nose swab, which is known as a nasopharyngeal or oropharyngeal swab, as in medical terms. They take this swab, cotton bud, simply the cotton bud that we take for ear, but these cotton buds are big enough and with the flexible head. So use this cotton bud to take a swab from your nose, inside of the nasal cavity, not exactly outside of the nose, but inside of the nasal cavity. Just take a sample of that, and that sample is enough to find out whether the virus is present inside that sample or not, because this is filled with droplet and the virus particle. If the virus infects you, if the virus is in your body, then the sample must contain the virus. So this is the very first step. So the very first step is collection of the sample. So there are two different approach we are going to talk about here, two different techniques we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about technique number one, that is RT-PCR technique, and we are also going to talk about the technique number two, that is the blood test or the plasma test rapid test kit process. Now remember, in both these cases we need to take the sample. Now the nose swab, the cotton swab that we have talked about, is for the RT-PCR. So the sample that we use in this case, the sample we use is that nasopharyngeal or oropharyngeal swab that we take, which must contain the virus if you're infected. But for a blood test purpose, we only take blood as a sample. So the sample in this case is a simple needle prick and simple blood that generally you take for the sugar test, the home sugar testing kit. Just a prick of your fingernail and a finger, and then put the drop of the blood. So these are the two different samples for two different types of testing. Now first let's talk about the PCR based testing, the RT-PCR based testing method. Now what we use for this method, let me tell you one thing very clearly before, that neither of this test is going to give you a standalone result. Because RT-PCR test is not exactly a diagnostic test kit. It is a process for research purpose. It's not for the diagnostic purpose. But we're using this for diagnostic purpose because we don't have any other option right now. Along with this blood test kit, both of them, they are not 100% accurate. They are 98%, almost 98% accurate. So there is a significant chance that 2 out of 100 patients, they will show a false result. Okay, there is always a possibility, but 98 out of 100 people, they will always give you a positive, correct result. Now if you talk about the RT-PCR after taking up that swab, now think about it. Inside that swab, what we have, let's say, if you zoom inside of the swab, we have this droplet. In the droplet we have the virus. Okay, so let me draw, these are the virus that is present there. Okay, let's say the virus is there. Now the virus contains genetic material. Every single person, every single living organism, they have the genetic material. The virus have their own genetic material. In this case, the genetic material of the virus is RNA. Positive single-stranded RNA is present as a genetic material. Now the thing is, what we do with reverse transcriptase PCR method is, in PCR, this method, polymerase chain reaction, is a method to amplify double-stranded DNA. When we have the double-stranded DNA, if you take one copy of the DNA, with the help of PCR, we can make thousands and lakhs of copies of the DNA. That's possible with this method. So it's simple amplification method, just like a Xerox process. So in this case, in order to Xerox the DNA or make multiple copies of the DNA, what we need to know the sequence of the DNA. You need to know what you're going to amplify. For this reason, we need to know the sequence of the RNA. Sequence means what the RNA is composed of, because the DNA, RNA, they are made up with nucleic acids. Okay, for example, in RNA it's ribonucleotides, for DNA it's deoxyribonucleotides. So for this virus, we need to know the sequence of that RNA, and that sequence we already knew that. We know that sequence, and China provided us that sequence from before. So we know about that sequence, so we can design the method to find out specific region of the DNA. So let's assume, let me draw a hypothetical sequence here. This is, let's say, the RNA. RNA is single strand like this, and DNA is always double stranded like this, okay, like a ladder, but RNA is a single strand like this. So for this RNA, there are multiple sequences. There are different structures, either with A, C, U, A, C, C, G, A, G, C, A, U, for example, something like that. So it's a hypothetical sequence, okay, I'm drawing. So because they are made up with 4 things, A, C, G, T for DNA, and for RNA, they are composed of A, U, G, C. Okay. So these are the components. Now what we are going to see here in this case, let's say this is the sequence. So we can find out a particular stretch of sequence from there. Let's say the stretch is 20 nucleotides. Okay, 20 letters like that, or 15 letters like that. Okay, we can find out that particular target. Now different companies are developing the kit, the RT-PCR kit, to find out the different portion of the gene. Okay, so in different nations they are using different kits, different segment of the DNA, different segment of the RNA to be scanned, to be amplified. So Germany is using a different kit, Japan is using a different kit, China using a different kit, India can use a different kit. So in different country based, so they are trying to find out specific regions of the sequence that must be present in the viral RNA. Okay, that's our thing. So what we want to do is that sequence we need to target, we need to amplify that sequence, we need to make multiple copies of that sequence. Now by definition, the PCR will make multiple copy of the DNA, but not for the RNA. So this is another important task. If you have an RNA, you first need to convert that RNA into DNA. Then you need to amplify that specific region of the sequence based on the type of kit that you have availability. So in this case, the very first thing is that we have this RNA. Let me draw the RNA with red color. This is the RNA. So the first thing we need to make is a DNA up from the RNA. And generally, RNA is prepared from DNA. This is a conventional method, a conventional process. RNA is always prepared from DNA. This process is known as transcription. Okay, but in this case, DNA needs to be prepared from RNA, which is a reversal of the conventional process. So we call it reverse transcription. That's why the name came RT, reverse transcription PCR, or reverse transcriptase PCR, because for this process of making a DNA from RNA template, we need a specific enzyme, and the name of the enzyme is reverse transcriptase. Okay, that's why the name came reverse transcriptase PCR, or reverse transcription PCR, or RT-PCR. So we use that enzyme to make DNA copy. We are drawing DNA copy or DNA strand with black color and RNA with the red color. So very first one is known as a complementary DNA copy, which contains one RNA strand, this is an RNA strand, and one DNA strand, this is a DNA strand. Then further we will amplify this DNA. How do we amplify the DNA? Using small stretch of nucleotide sequences known as primer. I am not going to go detail about it because I am making this video for a general audience. Just remember that once you prepare this, then we use this DNA as a template. It's something like Xeroxing things, right? Now you use this DNA as a template and we make a copy using this DNA. This will be known as double-stranded complementary DNA. So once this DNA is produced from this, so from a RNA, a DNA is produced. For that we need reverse transcriptase enzyme, and once that is done, we have a double-stranded DNA from that RNA. Remember, this DNA is produced from that RNA. Now what we can do, with the help of the PCR, we can simply amplify this DNA product. We can simply make more and more and more copies of this DNA product. And as we are going to make more copies of this DNA product, this technique will rely on a real-time mode. Real-time mode means we are going to see whether our target DNA is being amplified or not. How? By using fluorescent dye, a probe which gives us color. Let's say green colored probe. Whenever there is a double stranded form of the DNA, that probe binds with that DNA. Okay, let's say this blue colored things are the probe that binds with the DNA, and that can emit fluorescence, which can be detected, which can be measured, and not only it can be detected qualitatively, but we can detect it quantitatively. That means the amount of fluorescence we are getting, we can detect that. So whenever there is a double stranded DNA, that means whenever there is an amplification, you are going to see a fluorescence coming out of it. So when we run this process again and again, generally PCR process is a cyclic process. We need to run it for several hours, 1, 2 hours, 1.5 or 2 hours. So when you continue to run this process, we are going to see that the moment they are making more and more double stranded DNA, you are going to see more fluorescence. Okay, so as a result, what we can find out is that we can simply see a spike in the fluorescence like this, a fluorescence increase with time. With time, the fluorescence, this is fluorescence here, with time you can see an increment in fluorescence like that. So by seeing this fluorescence increment, we can find out, yes, the target DNA, the target region of the RNA, the viral RNA is being amplified. So this gives us a positive result, that if we find out that after this process or during the process of RT-PCR, if we find out the increase in the fluorescence, that means our target RNA region is being amplified. If our target RNA region is amplified, that means the person, that means the swab contained the viral RNA. That means the person is infected with the virus. So we back calculate and find out the tests to be positive. On the other hand, if you see there is no change in the fluorescence, if you see no change in the fluorescence after 1.5 hour, 2 hour or that time, we can say the test is negative. This is a positive test. Remember, this is how the test results are obtained, because a negative test means, if there is no fluorescence increment, that means there is no targeted region of the RNA present in the host, present in the infected person. That means the person is not infected with that virus. It's a false. So the test is negative. This is how we find out about the test utilizing reverse transcriptase PCR and real-time PCR. You can call RT-PCR for both. This is the test. This is even extensive test. It requires technicians to do that, skilled technicians to do that, molecular biologists, microbiologists to perform this test, and it's time consuming and it takes a lot of money to do that, because this probe that we use, generally the name of the probe is Cyber Green, SYBR, Cyber, SYBR Green. Cyber Green probe or any other probe we can use. So that probe is really expensive. That's why the test is very expensive to perform. In contrast to that, we have a second test that is now being famous. In USA it's being used, in UK it's being used. Currently in India it's been launched and already all the kits are already been booked. So they are making a second batch. You need to pre-order the kit to test yourself for a COVID positive or negative at your home just within 10 to 15 minutes. But this test is a blood test. Okay. Now what is the difference here? In the blood test it's quite easier. You don't need to understand a lot of these molecular techniques and details. You don't need any technician or doctor to take the test. But you can take it on your own, just like taking a sugar, blood glucose test. The same thing, you need to do that. So what you need to do in this case, this test kit looks very simple, just like the pregnancy test kit. If you are familiar to see the pregnancy test kit, similar kind of kit it is. It has one point here known as a B point. It has one point here known as a S point, and then it has a C region here. Now where we have, this is a C marked here, IgG marked here, IgM marked here. So this is how the test kit looks like. I'm going to explain about the test kit really soon. The first things first is that this is S means sample. This is where you put the sample. Sample placement site is there. Okay. This B region is where we put the buffer. Where you put the buffer solution. Okay. Buffer solution is a small solution that is provided with the kit, a small liquid solution provided with the kit. And this is IgM, this is IgG, these are antibodies. Okay. Now let me tell you one more thing, and this C is a control. C means control. Let me write it here. These are antibodies and C is control. Okay. Now at what principle this test is working? Now this blood test works based on the idea that you have already been infected with the virus and your body is already producing antibody against the virus to protect yourself. So there is a fundamental difference between these two tests. The very first test with RT-PCR is going to find out whether you are infected with a virus, and it's going to give you a data about whether you are currently infected with a virus or not, whether you're being infected currently or not. Okay, but this blood test is not going to tell you whether you're currently infected with a virus or not. It's going to tell you an arbitrary value, that whether you have been infected with the virus earlier, or you are currently infected with the virus, or you are infected with the virus at some point of your time at the earlier stage. That's what this test is going to tell you. Because normally what happens when a virus, let's say this is the virus, infects us, after the infection our body's immune system is producing antibodies. Okay, the antibody will fight against this virus and try to kill the virus. So they are producing more and more antibody to kill this virus. So once the antibody is present in the body against a particular virus or bacteria, that is a proof that that virus already attacked you, because one antibody is specific against one virus, one antibody is specific against one type of bacteria. So this antibody means this particular virus. So the coronavirus antibody is a specific antibody, and we know what kind of antibody our body produces when a person is infected with a coronavirus, that is SARS-CoV-2 or SARS-CoV-1. Either of that. This test kit, you cannot distinguish between SARS-CoV-1 or SARS-CoV-2. The similar thing, they will take that as a similar viruses, because the antibody type produced is similar. Okay. Now among these two types of antibody, body can produce both the type of antibody. Generally we call antibody as Ig, immunoglobulins, IgM, IgG. IgM is known as the primary immune response antibody. So this is the antibody that our body normally produces at the first time when it is infected with the virus or bacteria. And IgG is the antibody which is produced for the second time when our bodies get infected with the same virus or bacteria. Okay, so if you have more IgG, that means you have been infected with this virus couple of times. When you have more IgM, that means no IgG, that means you have been infected with this virus for the first time in your life. And as I told you earlier in the prediction video, that we all at some point of our time been infected with this coronavirus. So it's nothing to worry about. So now let's see how this test will work. So what you need to do is you need to simply do a needle prick to any of your finger, take a point of blood. Okay, 10 microliter of the blood is sufficient for this test. So just a point of blood and put the blood in the sample place. So let's put the blood in here. Okay, and then what you need to do, you need to also drop this buffer solution here. So buffer is provided. Buffer is a liquid solution which will take your blood up in this direction, as a capillary action, as a result of which this blood contents will be dragged, because in the blood you also have the antibody. You can either take blood or plasma. Normally it's very difficult to isolate plasma at home, so simply take the whole blood. It's also going to work. Now this blood is going to be dragged by the buffer solution, and if you have the antibody against the virus, either IgM antibody or IgG antibody, is going to show a line in IgM or IgG section. Another thing is that if they are going to show only one line in the control section but no lines in the IgG or IgM section, that means the test is already run. There must be a line in the control section. That means a line in the control section provides information that the blood is already taken till the end of the strip. That means the test is running correctly. That's why the control is provided, because sometimes there may be faulty kit. If you don't find any of the lines in the control section, that means the kit you've used is faulty, and or the buffer solution is not working properly. You need to add more buffer. So that's one more thing. You need to wait for 10 to 15 minutes after dropping the blood in the sample section in order to find a line in the control region. So if you find only one line in the control region, no lines in the IgM or IgG section, that means you are negative for the test. Now if you find IgM along with control, that means you are positive for corona, but you are infected with this virus for the first time, and probably you are infected with the virus in very recent times. Within 1 or 2 weeks you have been infected, or it may prove that the infection is going on currently in your body. So you must self quarantine and you must go to a hospital in an isolation in order to protect your nearby people. But if you are going to see IgG line along with IgM. That means you have been infected with corona a lot earlier. That means already 2-3 weeks are passed and you are already in the recovery phase. So this is the time still you can spread coronavirus from you to the other people, but you are in a good place to survive. You are kind of immune against the virus, the same family virus without mutation. If it attacks you, you're still good to go at this situation. But if you don't have an IgM but you have an IgG mark or IgG line, that means this virus has been attacking you for multiple times, and you've been developing this IgG antibody, because IgG antibody is developed in the secondary immune response. That means this virus is attacking you more than one time and your body is producing this IgG antibody to fight against it for the second time in your preparation schedule. But in any way, if there is any line in IgG or M, that means you are positive and you should take it seriously, and you must go to the doctors for further testing with RT-PCR, because you go with this kit, you show them the kit, they are going to also test with RT-PCR. Now tally both the tests, because if one test says wrong, both the tests saying wrong will be a less probability. So taking both the tests in the second time, it will prove whether you are positive or not, and you do the necessary thing to isolate yourself, self-quarantine, and do the necessary steps need to be taken to prevent yourself and to protect your family members from spreading this infection. So this is how both the tests work, the blood based test work as well as the RT-PCR test work regarding the coronavirus testing. I believe this video helps you and clear all your doubts about how the coronavirus testing works. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to our channel to get more of this kind of videos in this important situation. Thank you everyone. See you in the next video. Bye.